Episode 116, Walmart and Murphy's Comedy Club. I am Rod Murphy, and this is Growing Up Poor in Irish Boston, a series of my lived 1950s-era Irish Boston songs, jokes, and stories. Paddy loses his wife. Paddy Murphy walked up to the most beautiful woman at Walmart and asked, "You know, I have lost my wife here in the store. Can you talk to me for a couple of minutes?" The woman is intrigued and asked him, "Why?" Paddy replies, "Because every time I start talking to a beautiful woman, my wife appears out of nowhere." Paddy Murphy banned from Walmart. After he retires, this same Paddy Murphy's wife insisted that he go with her on her Walmart forays. Unfortunately, like most men, Paddy got bored quickly in stores. Equally unfortunate, Nora Murphy, like most women, loves to browse. Yesterday, Nora received the following letter from the local Walmart manager, Elizabeth Warren. "Dear Mrs. Murphy, over the past 6 months, your husband Paddy has caused a lot of commotion in our store. We cannot tolerate this behavior and have been forced to ban both of you from our store. Our complaints against your husband are listed below and are documented by our video surveillance cameras." June 15th, he took 24 boxes of condoms and randomly put them in other people's carts when they weren't looking. July 2nd, set all the alarm clocks in housewares to go off at 15-minute intervals. July 19th, walked up to an employee and told her in an official voice, "Code 3 in housewares, get on it right away." This caused the employee to leave her assigned station and receive a reprimand later from her supervisor that in turn resulted with a union grievance, causing management to lose time and costing the company money. We don't have a Code 3. August 4th, went to the service desk and tried to put a bag of M&Ms on layaway. August 14th, moved a caution wet floor sign to a carpeted area. August 15th, set up a tent in the camping department and told the children shoppers they would be able to go in if they would bring pillows and blankets from the bedding department, to which 20 children obliged. August 23rd, when the clerk asked if they could help him, he began crying and screamed, "Why can't you people leave me alone?" EMTs were called. September 4th, looked right into the security camera and used it as a mirror while he picked his nose. September 10th, while handling guns in the hunting department, he asked the clerk where the depressants were. October 18th, hid in the clothing rack, and when people browsed through, yelled, "Pick me, pick me!" October 22nd, when an announcement came over the loudspeaker, he assumed the fetal position and screamed, "Oh no, it's those voices again!" Number 12, he took a box of condoms to the checkout clerk and asked where is the fitting room. And last but not least, he made a trail of tomato juice on the floor leading to the women's restroom. All right, Father Murphy and the Wi-Fi password. During a funeral mass, Father Murphy is interrupted and loudly asks what the church's Wi-Fi password is. Father Murphy stares at him and says, "Good God, man, have some decency. This is your mother's funeral mass." And the man says, "Is that all lowercase?" Murphy's horseback riding. Paddy Murphy decides to try horseback riding, even though he has no lessons or prior experience. He mounts the horse unassisted, and the horse immediately springs into motion. It gallops along at a steady and rhythmic pace, but Murphy begins to slide from the saddle. In terror, he grabs for the horse's mane, but cannot seem to get a good firm grip. He tries to throw his arms around the horse's neck, but he slides down the horse's side anyway. The horse gallops along, seemingly impervious to his slipping rider. Finally, giving up his frail grip, Murphy attempts to leap away from the horse and throws himself to safety. Unfortunately, his foot has become entangled in the stirrup, and he's now at the mercy of the horse's pounding hoofs as his head struck against the ground over and over. As his head is battered on the ground, he is mere moments away from unconsciousness when, to Murphy's great good fortune, John, the Walmart greeter, sees his dilemma and unplugs the horse. And you thought all the greeters did was say hello. Paddy Murphy's nephew and pre-Cana classes. Paddy Murphy's nephew, Parnell O'Flaherty, and his girlfriend, Kathleen Dwyer, were living together and decided they wanted to get married in the church. So they go to the church for pre-Cana classes required by the Catholic Church. Father Mulcahy asks, "Are you two currently living together?" To which they reply, "Yes." The priest then tells them he will not marry them until they go to confession and then move out until the wedding. So they do. 3 weeks go by and they return for another pre-Cana class. Upon learning the young couple has moved out, the priest inquires, "How are you two doing now that you aren't living together?" Parnell says, "We were doing great until 2 days ago. I saw her bending over wearing a tight skirt and I just had to have her. I couldn't resist. I had to have her right there." Father Mulcahy is shocked and tells him, "Get out! You two are not welcome here any more." Parnell replies, "Okay, Father, and we aren't allowed at the Walmart anymore either." Paddy Murphy and the Brit. Paddy Murphy sees a Brit steal 3 buns at a Walmart bakery department and puts them in his pocket. The Brit says to Paddy, "That took great skill and guile to steal those buns. The manager didn't even see me." Paddy replies, "That's just simple thievery. I'll show you how to do it the honest way and get the same results." Paddy then calls out to the bakery manager and says, "Sir, I want to show you a magic trick." The manager is intrigued, so he comes over to see the magic trick. Paddy asks him for a bun, and then he eats it. He then asks for 2 more, and eats those as well. The manager says, "Okay, my friend, where's the magic trick?" Paddy says, "Look in the Brit's pocket." This one has nothing to do with Walmart or Paddy Murphy. It's just funny. Sister Mary's 3rd grade class. The morning sun streamed through the tall windows of Sister Mary's 3rd grade all-girls class at St. Cecilia's Parochial School. The good nun was conducting her favorite lesson, "What I Want to Be When I Grow Up." One by one, the little girls gave their wholesome answers. "A teacher like you, sister," or "a nurse," or "a mother." Then little Maeve, a bright and earnest child, eagerly raised her hand. Sister Mary smiled, nodding for her to speak. Sister Maeve said, with pure, unshakable conviction, "I want to be a prostitute." The color drained from Sister Mary's face. A collective, sharp gasp sucked the air from the room. Before anyone could move, the nun's eyes rolled back, and she crumpled to the floor in a faint. Her rosary beads kept clattering beside her. After a few frantic minutes with smelling salts and damp cloths, Sister Mary flooded her eyes open, her gaze immediately locking onto Maeve. Her voice was weak but urgent. "Child," she whispered, "repeat what you just said, please." Proudly, and without a hint of shame, Maeve repeated, "I said I want to be a prostitute." A wave of profound relief washed over Sister Mary's face. She managed a weak smile, patting the little girl's hands. "Oh, thanks be to God," she breathed, smoothing her habit. "For a moment, I thought you said a Protestant." If this episode sparked something for you, head to the show notes below and make a donation. And then also become a subscriber, please. Buy Me a Coffee is an app that allows consumers of podcasts, YouTube, etc., who appreciate a creator's podcast to donate. That would help keep my mic and my camera on and my stories flowing. Please judge what value you get from this and other of my episodes and join my supporters by making a donation to buymeacoffee.com/degreasings, spelled DEGREASINGS. Thank you. This is Rod Murphy. Thank you for viewing or listening to my podcast episodes. I really appreciate it. If you liked it, and if you so choose, I ask you to send a good review and or refer a friend who might be interested in this Old Boston podcast series. Again, my thanks.